Jason's Arday's death was avoidable. It didn't have to happen, but the media pounded on a man who obviously did not have a good relationship with the truth. Yes, we can admit that Jason probably embellished his resume, his past, and certain events that happened in his life. But that doesn't necessarily mean like he deserved the unrelentless scrutiny, media press, negative press that he had like in the last month until like he put an end to his life. You and me, we agree on the points I just mentioned there. So, but what I want to focus on is media's responsibility. So, for what happened to him, the media is saying like, or the justification they given for covering Jason Arday for this extensive amount of time, for this extensive amount of coverage on him, was because it was a slow media cycle, like especially in the United Kingdom. So they had nothing else like to talk about. So this was the topic they decided to push on. They decided to pile on this man. While doing so, they have forgotten that they're dealing with a human being with feelings. They're dealing with someone with family. They're dealing with someone who have worked all his life to accomplish what he have, whether like there was half truths to a lot of things he's said and done. All of that was forgotten, that this person like was gonna be made unemployable for the rest of his life. This person like also was autistic, right? With his brain was not wiring the same way as everyone else. So this is someone, we know autistic people very often have an obsessive behavior. I can only imagine like when for the last month when all this negative press was piling on Professor Arday, he's probably like consuming all of these negative media, and then like his brain kept repeating and getting obsessed with everything else that happened, and and his days were getting darker and darker. So the media has blood in its hands for pushing this man over the edge. Listen, I'm not saying like not to do your job as a reporter, not to expose the truth. That's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying, like there should have been a limit to how much coverage this story had. Jason Arday was not a celebrity. He was not someone well known. He was not a politician. This was just a professor who happened to work at Cambridge, and Cambridge trying to promote its diversity and put this man on the spotlight. To me, this could have been a one article somewhere in a footnote of a newspaper, and everyone moved on. There was no reason for all the UK press really go after this man. If we talk about what Jason some of the stuff Jason has extended the truth on, it seems to me he probably has participated in certain events, and he changed the outcomes a bit. In most of the stuff, the media exposed him, right? It's not like he'd never participated, he'd never done them. He probably changed a few things here and there. I'm not defending him, right? But that could be because of his autism. He perceived things, he remembered things slightly different, but that could be a reason. Or maybe he plainly made things up. Even so, right? That is not an excuse. That is not a reason for him to have so many negative press for the last 3 weeks. That is pretty much all that I've seen in social media dominated the feeds. It's a Jason Arday, Jason Arday. I didn't know who he was. I'm like, wow, who is this person? Like, what's going on right now? Initially, I ignore him. I'm thinking this is probably like, since all the titles, right? Like I mentioned, the university he was working for, and I see him being a black man. I'm like, they probably like making one of those headlines like, this is the first black man to at Cambridge, that kind of thing, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. It's until after the day he died, I gave in. Right? I'm like, wow, there must be something really, really going on for them to be pushing this man, to be pushing this video. So, and what I saw was appalling. What I saw was absolutely scary to see how the media can destroy someone's life in an instant. This man probably was like living the darkest moment in his life and had no one to turn to, and felt like his life was over. So if the media, the reporter, you have a responsibility to tell the truth, but you also have a responsibility to like stop yourself, to question if you're going too far, to question if you're pushing someone over the edge, because what we've seen with this man was unfair. What I noticed right now, as soon as Jason died, all the news outlets basically were relentlessly attacking him, have completely quiet and try to change the subject are saying like, well, it's his own fault, right, for taking his own life. It's his own fault for making like a lot of things up about his life. All we have done is reporting it. But you are guilty as well. Your part in this thing, right, is what happened to him at the end. You push him over the edge. You have made this in his mind. You have made this a personal thing. You, in his mind, you have like destroyed everything like he have built for. Whether you think he deserves them or not, right? That's not what we're debating here. What we're debating here is like your part in this, like the media, how you push him into the edge. The media turning the page now on Harry and Meghan. The current topic is Harry and Meghan moving to the UK. I'm afraid the same thing is going to happen again. I'm afraid like now the media is going to focus on Meghan. It's going to be payback time. They're going to like try to make Meghan pay. And they're going to be relentless just like they were on Jason Arday with a negative press. Everything she will do now will be scrutinized. Everything she does will be put under the magnifying glass so that they can criticize it, they can find fault at it. And I've already feel sad for the Duchess because I know what's waiting for her. The UK press can be very unkind and can be very aggressive, right, in their coverage. It is absolutely scary to know like people with power, people with platform often don't use it well. I'm not accusing the whole media. Some media outlets were responsible in the Jason Arday saga. But something like the Daily Mail is an absolutely like horrible news organization to come after you, because once they target you, right, they never gonna let go until something bad happen, something tragic happen, you lose your job, you lose everything, or sadly in the case of Professor Arday, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they are walking into the lion's den again. I don't see how like this is gonna end well. Still right now, right, 6 years after like they left the UK, Meghan is always like getting negative press for nothing, absolutely nothing. Now there's a lot of made up lies about her. I'm afraid like this is gonna be even worse. It's gonna be amplified. And worst of all, like they have little kid, knowing from experience what the UK media is capable of, because anyone can type things on the internet now and anonymously. Their children might be like under attack as well, which would be really sad. The media is complicit. The Jason Arday end was a death by the media. Plain and simple, the media has blood in its hand for pushing this man over the edge.